want to know how to get kids to stop grinding teeth? I'm Nicholeen Peck, and I teach all over the world about parenting, good communication, how to build strong family bonds, child development, and education, all through the lens of the principle self-government. I also used to be a dental assistant, so I know a bit about teeth. And in this video, we're going to be talking about grinding teeth. In this video, we're going to discover what tooth grinding often means and how you can calmly and lovingly lead your child into a new behavior to replace that tooth grinding. Talk about some of the reasons why people might grind their teeth. Well, first off, many times people grind their teeth in the night and they don't know that they're doing it. This is the harder one to fix because they don't know that they're doing it. Now, I actually naturally am a clencher and even a little bit of a grinder at night. My husband for sure is a grinder at night, and both of us had to teach ourselves how to not be grinders at night. So I had to go to bed thinking to suck the insides of my cheeks in between my teeth. So as I lay there, I don't know if that makes sense, but you suck that little bit in your and bite on it and lay so that I would have something to bite on. I told my dentist one time that I did this, and he's like, "You know we have mouth guards for that, right?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I know, but I don't like how my breath smells in the morning if I use a mouth guard, and I really feel like I can handle this." He's like, "Okay, well, your teeth look great. You're not grinding. Like, it doesn't look like you're grinding." And I'm like, "No, but I am. I know I am." And I'm clenching, and he's like, "Okay. There are things that happen to your teeth when you clench or grind. In fact, it happens around the gum line as well as on the occlusal surfaces of your teeth, which are the places where you actually bite food. So you can wear down the occlusion and make it so that your bite isn't as great, but also up on the gum areas of your teeth, you can start to have the gums look like they're receding just because you're clenching or biting. This can create sensitivity. It can also create little lines in your teeth that are unsightly or uncomfortable. So this is something that people don't know when they're grinding their teeth, and maybe they think it's not such a big deal. When my daughter and son and then next daughter all started grinding their teeth in the night, and I could hear it from my bedroom, so I've got my husband occasionally grinding next to me, and then I've got all of my children who were grinding their teeth, I thought, I don't think I can sleep through this. They were in other rooms and I could hear it, and it sounded like their teeth were breaking. As a person who used to be a dental assistant, this was so painful and anxious sounding for me. So I thought we have to do something. So some people, I talked to them about how to go to sleep in a different way, lay in a different position. My husband changed to laying on his side because this changed the occlusion of his teeth at the time and relaxed his jaw a little bit, because that's the main thing. You have to relax your jaw. My other children, some of them, we had to get little bite buttons and little mouth guards and those types of things. And then some of them, I just told them it was happening. And because they were aware, they suddenly stopped grinding their teeth. They just needed to be consciously aware. This was even at night. But what about in the daytime? Do people sometimes grind their teeth in the daytime? The answer is yes. Why do they grind their teeth in the daytime? Some people do it because they're focusing on something. They're dialing in with their brain on some sort of focus on a computer or a book or a project that they're working on. Some people will stick their tongue out when they're trying to focus. Some people will also grind their teeth when they're focusing, and they don't know that they're doing it. Some other people will bite on things to try to help them focus in. So just depending on how a person's processing could actually lead to a teeth grinding problem. So a person could want to focus, but they could also have stress or anxiety that could be contributing to that teeth grinding that happens in the day. Also, they could have posture or alignment problems within their mouth. So some people, their jaw sticks out a certain way, or the bottom jaw sticks out, and that's constantly creating an occlusal problem with the teeth. So then they might get to grinding and they don't even realize it, just because their posture or their jaw alignment is off. Another reason that could lead to teeth grinding that maybe most people don't consider is that there are some medications, especially stimulant medications that people might be taking for mental health issues, that actually could encourage muscle tension, and that could lead to more teeth grinding or clenching of the teeth. So what do we do about this? If you've already subscribed to this channel, then you know on this channel I talk all about self-government and the skills of self-government and how to self-regulate yourself, overcome habits. There are skills and principles for this that are very useful. We're going to talk about some of those right now. When a person is self-governed, they are deliberate. This means that they plan ahead of time for what they are going to do to solve a problem, and then they deliberately follow through. They check up on themselves to see how they did and see if they can do better next time. That's literally the process of self-government. So how do you self-govern teeth grinding? Well, at night, that's going to be a little bit harder. We already mentioned that. But sometimes even just knowing, just being aware that your jaw gets tense or tight, or that you do that grinding thing, can actually subconsciously help you reset and find a different thing to do even in the night. But especially in the day, a person can decide what relaxed jaw positioning is like for them. They can become aware of that. They can evaluate it on a regular basis to make sure that they don't clench and grind. If a person has a really severe problem with grinding, then you might want to even set a little timer on your phone or somewhere else where every so often we just go, oh, how is my jaw positioning? It just reminds us to do a little bit of a check-in. And that would help a person. You know, grinding your teeth and clenching your teeth can lead to a lot of problems with your jaw alignment. It can make a person have to get braces sometimes. It can lead to headaches and concentration problems. There's actually a lot of problems that can occur from this, so we absolutely have to nip it. Obviously, if your teeth grinding is causing any wear on your teeth or problems related to clicking or pain in your jaw, anything like that, you're going to want to talk to your dentist, okay? Make sure that you consult with them because they are the ones that are best at this. But there are some other things that you can do to actually increase your calmness. If you know how to calm yourself down, then that can help relax and release your jaw muscles so that you can get yourself to a place where you're not grinding any longer. Let's talk about some of the ways that you can start encouraging calmness within yourself. So on this channel, I talk about the different skills and principles for self-government. There are 4 basic skills of self-government. These books right here actually teach the 4 basic skills of self-government to children. These won't help with the parent skills as much. I have other books for that, but these will help with the children's skills. What are the 4 basic skills of self-government? They are following instructions, accepting no answers and criticism, accepting consequences, and disagreeing appropriately. When a person learns these 4 skill sets, that actually takes care of 99% of their behavioral problems. And the reason why is because it helps them learn how to do self-assessment so that they can start doing self-government, which is what this channel is all about. So once you learn how to analyze what's going on with your jaw and your mouth and your muscles in that area of your body, then you can choose to give yourself a no answer. You can say no answer on grinding and on clenching, and then you can give yourself an instruction on what you should do, that you can choose to take a deep breath, to relax your jaw, to think a certain thought, or to say a certain thing, such as be relaxed or be calm. And by the way, taking a deep breath is like the #1 thing that you can do to get your body chemicals regulated so that you can be calm. So let's talk about some of the calming strategies that you can do or help your child do when they are struggling with that tense teeth grinding behavior. So one thing that you can do is you can say to them, let's come up with a cue phrase, a term that if we say it, that you are going to know that that means you need to check your jaw and to check to see if you're grinding right at that time. So what would a cue phrase be for that? Something that could be really beneficial could just be something like soft jaw or check yourself, or something like that, where they can go, okay, I'm going to check myself. That means I'm going to check my jaw. I'm going to see how I'm doing with my jaw at the time. Then you instruct them, if they happen to find that their jaw is tight, then they're going to give themselves a no answer. When we give ourselves a no answer, we look at the person or the situation, we keep a calm face, voice, and body, we say okay or ask to disagree appropriately, and then we drop the subject. Now, dropping the subject is going to be a huge thing for controlling the impulse to grind your teeth. When we learn to drop the subject, this is literally the power skill. When you can tell yourself, don't think about that anymore, don't focus on that anymore, then you are absolutely taking self-government control of your own emotions and ultimately your own connections and outcomes with other people. So when you learn to drop the subject about one behavior like teeth grinding, then you can choose to drop the subject about other behaviors or disappointments in life that you might have as well. Now, don't forget the deep breathing. If a person is grinding their teeth, you may need to correct them. If you give them the cue phrase, they don't change it, they keep grinding, you may need to actually have a type of a correction for them so that they can learn cause and effect, so that they don't learn the cause and effect of hurting their teeth, because that would be the natural consequences. That would be a really mean thing to have a child learn, especially when they're so young they don't understand about their future dental needs and what's going to happen to them later on. Just so you know, when a person's bigger teeth come in, like their molars, maybe their 6-year-old molars, suddenly that can change the occlusion in their teeth and make it so that suddenly they don't have this bite problem or this grinding problem anymore, because it can throw off the grinding. So it can just naturally happen, but if you have to get to a place of correcting it, I want to be able to help you. There is a video that I really recommend you watching next. It's called How to Discipline Children. We'll get into how to do some corrections in a self-government way when the need arises.